Good evening, my loves. Welcome to this week's Coaching Gem live here on Destination Diana. Please consider this your self help learning library for all things love, relationships, all of the good stuff, right? So, can I still say Happy New Year, right? It's still the first week, right? Well, going into the second. So, Happy New Year. If I have not been able to say Happy New Year to you yet, um, I pray that you all are off to a great start. I'm really excited about forward mark forward motion and the improvements that we are going to make this year. I'm looking forward to hearing all of your victories, your wins, all of your engagements, your wedding announcements. I'm so looking forward to it. So let me check in, see who's on the chat. My amazing husband. Hi, honey. Thank you so much for your support. If you're on Facebook, you have to grant StreamYard access so that I can see your name. So, hey, friend. Hey. Hey, Alice. One of my beautiful ladies from my membership community. And you know they're going to keep y'all on your toes. So, you got to come correct when the ladies check in now. Hey, Queen. Hi. Sorry, anybody on Facebook, if you did not allow StreamYard access, I can't see your name. So you're going to have to type it. Happy New Year. Hey, Bree. All my membership ladies here. Tonight's a good one. They're always good, but it's really good tonight. Tonight's topic is learn to want who wants you. I'm so tired of seeing all of the horror stories about just women pursuing and all of the convincing and all the misalignments. So I've been praying about this one for a few weeks actually, and just asking God to tell me what to tell y'all. But in a nutshell, I want you all to learn to want who wants you. You deserve to be desired, right? You deserve to be pursued. You deserve to be a man's choice. So, what is my intention tonight? My intention is to encourage you to recognize and appreciate genuine interest while maintaining your autonomy in making healthy relationship choices. All right. So let's keep it real though. It's time to stop trying to force relationships with people that we think we want. Okay. The intention. That's my intention. Okay. Yes. You agree? Good. Y'all agreeing with me early. It's going to be a good night. So, Mom, y'all, clearly I'm at my mom's house and she wants this to be live for her only. So please try to ignore her in the background. What I'm not doing, telling you that you should just accept any man's advances and move forward because he showed interest. I'm in no way saying looks don't matter. I'm not saying any of that. Just because he's interested doesn't mean it's an automatic yes. But I am saying be open to different possibilities. But there definitely needs to be attraction and alignment. And we'll talk about this further. Okay. So that's what I'm not doing. So I don't need to hear your comments about I need to be attracted. I don't need that. That's not what I'm talking about. Yes, you deserve to be a man's choice. Absolutely. Yes, Alice, you agree. All right. Now, before I get into the thick of the lesson, if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you need to do that. Make sure you're liking the broadcast so that YouTube, Facebook, all of that can push out the live. The more they see people interacting, the more it will be shared and show up on people's feeds. So please take your time right now. like the live, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you turn on your notifications, okay? So before I get into how you can learn to want who wants you, I'm going to talk about genuine interest so we can all be on the same page. So you'll be able to tell clearly what is genuine interest, right? I'm going to tell you what that looks like. I'm going to tell you what some clues are, like what to pay attention to in regards to telling if someone is genuinely interested. Oh, hey, Marlene. Thank you for granting access. Yes, attraction and alignment. You know we're all about that here. The live stream is freezing. I'm sorry about that. I got a pretty good connection here, so I hope that doesn't keep going. Oh, he needs to check every single one of my boxes. Brianna, you giving the advanced version already. I'm going to get to it. I promise. Yes. Hey, Nicole. I'm so glad you're here. It's working. I can see your name. Yes. All right. So let's start with genuine interest. Okay. These are, it's not everything, but I think they're the most important things for you to keep in mind when you're trying to gauge genuine interest. Okay. Consistent communication, and he initiates the majority of it. Yes, I need to point that out. He initiates the majority of it. I don't want to hear, oh, well, I want him to know. If we're talking about learning how to want who wants you, you need to be clear that they want you, right? So you need to leave space to let them do that. Let them pursue. Let them communicate. Let them call you. Let them text you. You practice being in your feminine and reciprocating. That's what you can do. You can reciprocate. You can respond. But most of the communication should be from them initiated, majority of the time. Okay? There should also be consistent effort without your instruction. I see so many examples of women giving all the instructions and the man just following that, right? And then the woman is saying he's interested. How do you know? He could just be a good follower, a good listener. That doesn't mean he's interested. That could just mean he's free. That could just mean he's not tied up with something else. That could just mean he's bored and you're around. So we want genuine interest. So you should want to see his consistent effort without your instruction. You also want to make sure that you are seeing mutual respect, right? Respect of your time, respect of your opinions, respect for what you've said you enjoy, places you want to go, things you'd like to do, your profession, how your view, how you see things. You want to be able to see a man that can respect that. Even if you have differences, how he approaches it. Does he shut you off? Does he not invite you to speak? Does he not incorporate the things that you have shared? Right? Mutual respect. You're respecting his time, he's respecting yours. You're respecting his opinion, he's respecting yours. I'm sorry, I see y'all are commenting and I'm just going on. Good night, bro. Glad you're here. Hey, Shaka. Yep, let them pursue. Brianna, is that all the time or until he's my man? Oh, you mean the communication? Once he's yours, you all determine that. But until he is, you don't know how many other women are at play. You don't even know if you want him to be yours. So I would stick with the pattern of let him lead. Let him lead. You can reciprocate. No one is saying like leave him out there by himself and not return the interest. Obviously, you want to do that. But we want to give him the space to show his interest, show what he's made of, right? Yes, Marlene, you feeling me without the instruction. Because consistent effort after you've told him everything to do, he's just a good listener and follower. Yep, say less. Got you. And the final thing is balance of space and attention. Let me break this down a little bit more. Balance of space and attention. So there should be no overdoing it on either side, right? Balance of space. Give him space to miss you, space to wonder. You should not be an open book. He should not be able to tell where you are every minute of the day. Why? Like, leave some mystery, right? Leave some things for him to discover, right? Let him, I don't want to say chase, because this isn't a game, right? We're not talking about game playing, but we are talking about men and their natural instinct to pursue, to hunt, to accomplish, right? To win. If you lay it all out there for him, what is he winning? What is he pursuing, right? So you want to give some space, right? Leave some gaps in there. Leave some space to wonder. And then the same thing with attention. You don't want him to be wondering if what he's doing is right. You don't want him to be wondering if you appreciate his advances or the things that he's doing. So you definitely do want to make sure there's a balance of your appreciation and reciprocation. And let me be clear, reciprocation does not mean you do what he did for you. That just means the energy he's putting out. If you appreciate it, you like it, you want more of it, you figure out your feminine equivalent of that and give that to him. Okay? So a balance of space and attention. So that's the genuine interest. This is how you can tell. This is what you should look for. Consistent communication where he's initiating the majority of it. Consistent effort without your instruction or leading. Mutual respect and a balance of space and attention. Are we clear on that? Funny, Alice, I was gonna say spatension because I always say that, but I'm like, let me be clear. But yes, spatension. You need to have a balance of that. Yes, I have to be clear about reciprocation because I see so much of women trying to tit for tat, positively or negatively. Asking me to figure out my feminine equivalent is like asking me to fix my car. Okay. Hold that for the Q&A so I can go into it a little bit deeper. But just a general example, right? If he buys you flowers, you don't go buy him flowers the next time you see him. Right? Yours could more or less be, the next day, maybe a cute selfie with the flowers, saying how much you like them, saying how good they smell, thanking him for it. That's along the lines of your appreciation matching what he did. That's reciprocal between the masculine and feminine. Do I need to do a separate live for this? I think so. Remind me of that, Bree. Yup. Got to join the membership to get all the details. Maybe I'll just do that for y'all. Women are doing the absolute most in these streets, and it's too dang much. Yes, and they're messing with the flow of things, right? Thank you. I hope that resonated. I would eat cheese before I get down on my knees and propose. I always go off when I see those. All right, so now let's talk about how, right? I'm telling you that you need to learn how to want who wants you. So I can't tell you that without telling you how to do that, right? So when thinking about how to make this practical, I came up with kind of 5 subheadings and things for you to incorporate. right? So now would be the time, if you want to take notes, for you to refer back to regarding how you can put this into practice, right? So here's how you can actually learn to want who wants you. Number one is there needs to be an emphasis on your self-worth, right? If you recognize and embrace your own value, this is going to foster self-confidence. And by default, you will attract those who genuinely appreciate you. When you are not clear about your self-worth, you are not as confident. That is when you may entertain whatever's coming along, or you may get caught up if someone's really handsome, if someone has a lot of money, if someone is just showering you with attention, even though there might not be attraction or alignment in any other area. If you have a really healthy sense of your self-worth, you are clear on what you want, you're clear on what you deserve, and you're clear on focusing on that and not just allowing anything. So, an emphasis on your self-worth. Number two, there needs to be a focus on authentic, mutual connections. Let me break this down, because there's an emphasis on mutual, right? It cannot be one-sided. You should not be overly attracted to him and he's like, It needs to be authentic, meaning you're not forcing it. It's just genuinely happening. And it needs to be mutual, like the same vibe that you're having, the level of interest. His needs to be yours or more, but never less. Okay. It's really so important to build relationships with people who genuinely want to be a part of your life. If they genuinely are interested in you and they want to be a part of your life, you're not going to have to drag them along. You're not going to have to beg them for the treatment that you desire and you want. They want to be there. There is a mutual connection. So guess what? They want to do the things that will be pleasing to you. They want to do the things that will make you happy. And the focus on authentic mutual connections is because we should not be trying to persuade anyone to want us, to like us. There should be no persuasion involved. Again, this is where we go back to the general basics of masculinity, right? They are wired to lead. They are wired to pursue. If that's not happening, it ain't you, meaning you ain't what they desire. Accept that. That's no dig at you. You should not be taking it personally if you see someone and you're kind of digging them and they're not really digging you. They're just not for you. Do yourself a favor. You want the person who wants you. They are going to be the ones that show up with the romance, with the dates, with the gifts, with the attention, with the focus, with the commitment, because they want you, right? And I mean, I'm just going to share, like in the love attraction community, like we don't convince. We don't convince. We simply exist and we allow alignment. We show up. We are who we are, and we allow those that align with us to pursue. But we don't convince. We don't persuade. We don't do that. He needs to love me more. Another reason why I knew my husband was like a real one, when I told him, like, yeah, I think the man should love the woman more, he agreed. He agreed. He wasn't like, oh, well, what are we gonna get out of that? He agreed. Yes, y'all better remember that. See, here goes my husband, completely unprovoked. He will gladly do those things because he wants to. You don't want to be with someone that you have to tell what to do all the time, that you have to convince you're worthy of the things you want. You do not want that, because guess what? Even if you get them to show up how you want, do the things you want, it won't be lasting and they will resent you. So in the long run, it does not work. Yep. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. If you're not someone's cup of tea, shot of tequila, whatever, you are someone else's, and you want that person because that person's going to cherish you. Right, Alice? We don't waste time. For what? For what? For what? You taking up space, bro, from the man that could be here doing everything I like, being happy to be here, not begrudgingly. Yeah, we don't waste time. Good evening, Kalandra. The whole squad's here. Hi. So, focus on authentic mutual connections, right? Number 3, not to beat a dead horse, but you need to be recognizing red flags, right? We discussed what genuine interest is already. So you need to make sure that that's the first box that's checked off, right? Genuine interest, check. All of those things, check. That needs to be checked off first, right? And then I just caution you against entertaining connections where that's lacking. Like, if there isn't genuine interest as the basis for starting anything, I don't recommend it, right? And you know your red flags. I'm not going to tell you what red flags are. I'm not doing that, because guess what? Here, it's all about you defining what love is for you. You defining what an elevated love experience is for you, defining what a leveled up love experience is. It's going to vary from woman to woman, man to man. We all want different things. We all have different triggers, and we all have different red flags. So you know what your red flags are, right? Don't excuse them. That's it. Don't excuse them because someone's cute, beautiful, handsome, whatever, rich, popular. These are all superficial things. Now, I'm not saying a person shouldn't be comfortable, shouldn't have some finances, shouldn't have some means and resources. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that shouldn't be the primary focus, right? That shouldn't be the primary focus, because that can change. And then what are you left with? Right? But I am saying, you know what your red flags are. Don't ignore them. When you see them, it is time for you to assess, okay, is this a red flag that I need to be more flexible in? And it's not necessarily a red flag. Maybe it's something that I could make some adjustments towards. Or is this clear? Like, I'm super clear on this. It's a red flag. It's not going to change. No need to proceed further. Let me see comments. Trying to keep up with y'all as I say things so I don't have to go back. Yep, Brianna, we don't respond. We remain in our love space. Absolutely. We remain in our love space, and we only allow those to be in it who are aligned with us. 8 kids, recently divorced, stalking my social media. Yup. Bye. Bye. Yup. We don't play that. We don't got time for that. You know what I mean? So number 4, setting healthy boundaries, right? It's so important to establish the boundaries in the beginning. Not saying that it's impossible to create different boundaries later, but it is way more difficult. The success rate is not great. However, setting something up in the beginning, being preventative, being proactive, that leads to success, right? Because either the person is going to, work within those boundaries, agree to them, respect them, or they're not. And either way, both of you have a choice. Hey, I don't want to adhere to that. Cool, we're not aligned. Let's go our separate ways. But if you don't do this and you go along, you develop feelings and then you get intimate, now you're like tethered to this person and they're disrespecting your boundaries, or they have boundaries that you have no intentions of respecting. That doesn't work for anybody. So let's set the healthy boundaries in the beginning. In the beginning. And this is easy with someone who wants you. It's not hard. It's only hard when you're trying to convince, when you're trying to be with somebody who don't really want to be with you. All of these things that I'm mentioning, they're very easy to do when a person is excited about you, when a person wants to pursue you and wants to be with you. So you want to make sure that you're not settling for relationships or people that are going to compromise like your well-being or your values. Those are the two basic boundaries that I think everyone should have, right? Things that uphold your well-being and your values. You shouldn't compromise on those. There should be healthy boundaries on both sides, for men and women here. Yep. That's right. Boundaries are the winner. Absolutely. So then the fifth and final one is your empowerment through choice. This is so important. If you're not new here, or you're, a part of my Love Attraction community, or next level, a part of my membership, you know that I preach heavily that women should be a man's choice. Now, when I talk about this, women who maybe are just casually listening to me or just hearing that for the first time, they automatically take offense and think that that means they don't have a choice. So let me clarify, right? I teach the importance of being a man's choice for long-term security and happiness, right? And happiness. I'm not implying that by being a man's choice, you didn't also choose him. No, you ultimately have the final choice, because you either accept what he is offering to you, accepting a relationship with him, accepting a marriage proposal. You have the ultimate choice. But the point is, you want to be the man's choice, because when you are, he values you. When you are a man's choice, he treats you differently. He shows up differently in a relationship with you because he chose you. You're not a circumstance. You're not something that just happened. You're not someone that he's just passing time with or just accepted because you are around. He saw you. He wanted you. He pursued you, got to know you, and chose you. That man's going to value you. Okay, that man's going to honor you because you're his choice. So remember, just because I'm saying we want to be a man's choice, it does not mean you have to accept any man that is choosing you. No, you still have the overall choice. That's why you should feel empowered through that choice. So those are the 5 things. You want to have an emphasis on self-worth. You want to focus on authentic mutual connections. You want to make sure that you're recognizing red flags. You want to be setting healthy boundaries. And you want to recognize your empowerment through your choice. So that was my quick recap. Let me see if I missed any comments. They treat you so well when they choose you. They absolutely do. It's a clear difference. And there's my husband. He agrees. Yes, indeed. Yep, you have the ultimate choice. When a man remembers that he chose you for a reason, you can get of anything. Nothing is off limits. Take it from someone who's been married for 10 years. It matters. You don't want to be married to someone who is with you out of circumstance. they need you for something, they're not okay on their own, y'all slipped up, had a baby. Like, you don't want that. Not saying that you couldn't have that situation and still be a man's choice. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when it's not something the man is willingly choosing, not guilted into it, not feeling obligated, none of that. Okay? None of that. Thank you, Nicole. So let's get to it. Q&A. The part of the live that everybody loves, right? Nothing is off limits. I would ask that if you have questions about the topic or what I covered, you do those first. And then if you have any other questions or scenarios that you would like me to give you some feedback on, or give you some direct advice, now would be the time. So what questions do you have? And I'll give you a moment to kind of type those out. Let me go back and look at the comments, because I know Bree mentioned something earlier and I know I went over it quick, but I want to make sure if I need to give detail. I went on a date a few months ago and the man did not have a wallet, child. Ooh, that would have been an interesting night with me, because I don't even bring a purse. Dude, you know I ain't got no money. Nope. Sure don't. That would have been an interesting night. I was embarrassed for him, so I bought him one, but I was not interested. All right, Bree. I'm going to call you the Salvation Army if you keep it up. I told him, you're grown, you should have a wallet. And he knows that. He absolutely knows that. Online dating is so much more popular than it used to be. How do single women today combat the fact that men feel like they have unlimited options? Oh, this is so good, because it isn't just it's social media, it's access in general, right? I just think it's funny. Just because people see someone, that don't mean you have access to them. There's plenty of people that might think I'm attractive and they can't talk to me. Like, they don't have no real access to me. It's a very superficial, so I think single women today really should make sure that everything that represents them is in alignment with who they are and who they want to attract, right? That way it will repel those men that are just kind of racking up numbers. You know what I mean? We all know, I might be dating myself a little bit, but back in the day when you used to actually have to get someone's phone number, right? We all hear the stories about the men who used to go out with their friends and try to see how many numbers they could get. Well, social media is no different. It's just like virtual now. So guys could be like testing how many women they could send a good morning text to, or how many women will respond to this certain DM. I've literally heard men say that, like, oh, I got this standard copy and paste DM that I just put out there, and whoever responds so I would definitely tell single women today to make sure that everything that is their virtual kind of footprint is in alignment with who they are and what they want to attract, so that some of the work can repel, right? It'll repel men who are not serious if you present yourself certain ways, if you're not showing certain things, if you're not talking about certain things, if you're not posting certain things. Men who are not at that level will be intimidated, probably won't even waste their time, right? Men who are looking for something quick, they're not going to look for a woman of substance, a woman that looks like she has standards, morals, values. They're going to skip right by her and try to entertain and have fun with the woman who looks like she might be more in alignment with what he's looking for. And I would say, don't entertain men that either say things that allude to them having all them options, or who give off an air of that. It's given Mr. Biles. That's what that's given to me. I was trying to let that slide by. Let me take it off the screen. I was like, sir, you are yes. And you don't need to be the one fulfilling the charity. We date online so that we don't have to make time to go out into the world. See, I think that's the wrong attitude to have. But I think that is the most common one. I think everyone is trying to like fast track things, and they think because it's online and they think they can figure everything out via online, that they can skip steps. Men will literally think, oh, I've been DMing her for weeks, like counting that as time in. Like, no. Like, no. But there are men counting that, and there are women allowing it. So the cycle will continue. I really think we need to get back to a space of, everything should be used and everything in contribution. So it should be a benefit that you can research somebody. You can get a feel for them, their conversations, their interests, and things like that. Yes, that should help you maybe weed out the big red flags or the big no's, but it shouldn't replace genuine connection, genuine communication. It shouldn't replace that. I like that, Bree. Made a goal to go out at least once a month. Like, let's be real. You can meet somebody online. You can even FaceTime and do those things, and they can be good prerequisites, right? But you're not going to tell actual chemistry and vibe until you're like in someone's presence and can actually feel their energy. So it is super important to like get outside. Get outside. That good old Prime Street script. 70% go with the first ones they meet in person. It's true. It's so true. Like, people are going to go with the first option unless, the next one is like that much better. And they have to put in that much more work and effort to get you to not even think about the first connection. That's true. Yep. What you say? I'm tired of meeting, Issa. I'm tired of meeting people from online. Never works. Well, I'm not saying that it can't work. I met my husband, like both of them, online. So I'm not saying it don't work, but you different process, different results. I can tell you that for a fact. Different process, different results, right? I met my husband online. We met on good old Facebook. It wasn't a dating app. Neither one of us were looking to meet someone. We just happened to be connected through a mutual friend, and through kind of fundraising efforts, we crossed paths. And we talked online, but we were not counting that as like dating time. We didn't count dating time until we actually met in person. Oh yeah. Issa's in the love attraction community. She's saying hey to everyone. My comments are so triggering. I met up with several people online before meeting my husband as well. Keep at it. Like, it's not like you can't meet anyone well. I think you just have to go about it differently. And for those of you who didn't catch my live last week, I actually did a live called Online Dating Do's and Don'ts. And I specifically talked about like how to be more successful at online dating. And none of it had anything to do with apps. It was all about online connections, kind of vetting, all of that. So go back and take a look at last week's live, Online Dating Do's and Don'ts, and you can get some information there. Step 1, start a charity. No, you are banned from charity work right now, Brianna. You are only allowed to receive charitable giving. That's your charity right there. You are allowed to receive charitable giving. Receive. My online dating standards are strict. Before we even share oxygen, I need to know some things. Absolutely. That is a way to use online dating to your benefit. Like, I'm not wasting my good makeup and my good outfits on any old body. Like, for what? Do you know how long it takes for a woman to really get ready when she wants to be impressive? This is not a quick thing. So, no, before I do all of that, we need to get some basic things out the way. Yes, Alice, Salvation Army is closed. Yep. I'm done with the apps. People always come along when you're not looking. Very true. My thing with the apps, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do them, right? There are lots of people that have like found their person on these apps. And I will say, if you're going to do an app, you should pay for it, because if you're paying for it, you know that at least this person is making an investment. So they're more likely to be more serious about a return because they've invested. But before you even go to an app, honestly, people need to invest. Shameless plug. They need to get with a love coach, a love guide, a relationship coach, and work out all their BS. Work out learning how to vet, how to know what is in alignment with you, how to know if this even makes sense to go along with, how to even know if you should allow a person to pursue, how to know when to cut things off and not waste your time. And then how about this? How about you meet a great guy, checking all the boxes, and then you don't know how to act on a date? Like, I would recommend people put more effort and energy and investment into themselves, making themselves the best that they can be. That is a far better investment that is going to have long-term residual payback. He pays me $60 for a haircut still. Good. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Men will look at your social media though. Absolutely. I remember my husband referencing things he saw on my page when we were dating. It helped him prompt questions about my interests and where I traveled. Absolutely. You are naive if you don't think men are like, if you think men are not Googling you and looking for your Facebook and looking to see what you posted, looking to see what you talked about, looking to see like what your pictures are. How are you presenting? They are definitely looking at that stuff. I know that's right. It takes time to get date night beauty. Yes. Especially how we show up. Us ladies that are in our feminine, that desire to be beautiful and like be a good time, we're not cutting corners. We are looking our best. So that needs to be reserved for men that are going to provide a great experience. I just went on a date with a man who was all up in my social media. Yep. I think it's okay to, if it's not obsessive. This man gave restraining order. Yeah, like, I mean, you don't want nobody that is digging so deep, like going back years and reading captions and quoting stuff to, like, that's a bit ridiculous. But a person kind of parsing through and just trying to get a general idea of your interests and general idea for what you post, what you like to talk about. You might have mentioned food, seeing things about your lifestyle, your work. Like, that's acceptable for sure. Yeah, get a relationship coach to help you clean up your social media. It's a great investment. Absolutely. Absolutely. I try not to be stalking my ladies, but I definitely be looking at their stuff and definitely be saying stuff. It's because I love them and I want the best for them. And you need somebody who is looking at your stuff objectively, but is in your corner to tell you, like, stop wearing that. Like, why are you posting that? Why are you saying that? You need someone who knows what you have in mind and what you desire to attract to be able to say, yeah, I noticed you presenting yourself differently. It looks good. Oh, I see you talking different. It looks good. Or what's going on? You slipping back into old ways. Brianna, so your investment paid off. You bought him a wallet. He gave you the money in the wallet. Yes, we'll allow it. It worked out that time. Don't make it a habit, Brie. Is he using his wallet gift now? Apparently. As long as he got money in the wallet to pay for them haircuts, we is good. Yes, self-work. It is important. We advocate for that. Ooh, we attack who we are. Yep. Sure do. Sure do. Draw me in. Nope. We already seen your true colors, bro. You only got one time to show me you ain't a leader. Don't know how to manage resources. Nah, we don't need to stick around for that. Yeah, listen. I'm not trying to. Y'all will come along in your own timing, right? If I told you everything I observed about everything you did, y'all would not like me at all. You would not like me. So I have to make sure that I sprinkle the love and positive reinforcement in there. She yells at us. No, I do not. But y'all can keep telling people that. It's cute. Bree, tell me because I be talking. Mm-hmm. You do. You do. Glad someone said it. Whatever. I should probably stop. Nah, unless you want to attract the person who likes that. Who's on that same vibe. I mean, have at it. Have at it. I know when, again, I wasn't purposely like looking to date anyone, but I knew that I was like reinventing myself, rebranding myself. I paid close attention. I started deleting certain things off of my page. I stopped talking about certain things. And it was like a tiered approach, right? Like I didn't go from, dropping it low Monday to being a nun on Tuesday. No, it was a gradual thing. Like you could see the growth and the progression and the improvement in the things that I was talking about. Right. And then you could see the difference in what I was posting. The pictures of myself became less and less. And when they were posted, it was purposeful. It was usually about weight loss, confidence, had a message with it. It wasn't scantily clad, naked, showing a lot. There were certain changes that I made. And looking back now, had I have not made those changes, my husband would not have even seen me. Knowing the man that he is, knowing what he desired in a partner and a wife, had I have been still in what I was before, he would not have seen me. So my change, my up-leveling, it was required for what I wanted in my future. And I had to do it before I was even trying to have it, right? It was just a part of my growth. And it just so happened to align with where I was going in the future. I don't have personal page. All mine are for business, but I get carried away in the stories. You think men are classifying, oh, that's her business page, let me not pay attention to that? Absolutely not. It's your page. Mine is a business page, right? I turned it into a business page, but still it's representative of me, right? So don't think you can hide behind that, because whatever they see, that's what they're going to judge. I'm crying. Cat Williams said, if you listening to Sexy Red, you broke. I mean, I didn't even know the song until it was beyond everyone repeating it and all of that. And like I'm a rapper, so that says a lot. Give me a 1 to 10 reference of my social media because I feel like I'm very intentional. LOL. Woman of God, so I don't get too ratchet, or shall I say rache. One being like totally off from what you are desiring to attract, and 10 being totally in alignment. I would say a solid 6. A solid 6. Like close to 7. Meaning, yes, you could tell you're a woman of God. You can tell you like to work out. But it's clear you're in transition. It's clear you're still finding your footing. And that's not a bad thing. It's not negative at all. That's just me giving my honest assessment. All facts. I remember this intentional life change. You were there. You know where I was coming from. You know the changes I made to have this life. I literally became a different version of myself. Like, I am clearly still like me, who I am at the core, right? But I became the better version of myself. I don't even say best because I'm constantly working towards that. I tried to give classy, sexy, cool. Yeah, I would question or just give more thought to why you want to give sexy. You can give alluring. That's a different vibe, but along the same lines. I would reconsider sexy, right? Because how women view sexy and what men tend to take from sexy are usually not the same. So I would think more about like alluring. Yep, always starts with self. Men usually tell me based on my Facebook page that I look pretty busy. I'm not ready for a relationship. Yeah, because you probably are just posting a lot about like work, what you do, different things like that. And if it's a business page, I can understand that. Yeah, so that's an easy discussion of, oh, that's my business page. Here's my personal one, or I don't have a personal one. So you would have to get to know me personally to figure that out. But as you can see, men just look at what is there. They're not digging as deep as we are to try to create these stories and narratives that fit what we want. Like, back to today's lesson, we need to learn who wants us, right? We need to learn to want who wants us. Men, they take what's in front of them and they accept it as it is, right? They're not trying to create a story to explain away why you look like a hoe. Like, they're not doing that. They're just like, hoe, pass. That's it. They're not digging too much further. That's why, like, ladies, we don't got to dig further either. Not generous, boo. Like, we don't have to create stories of why it's acceptable for him not to give gifts when we like gifts. Nope. Accept it as it is. Right? Right. I'm glad you feel that way, Brianna. 6 is cool. It's more than cool. It's been 3 months. You about to be at a solid 8 in the next 3 months. That's right. I'm just a girl. That needs to be your vibe. I'm just a girl. I think my page is positive, but now I'm curious what you think. I got to look at your page a little bit more. How about this? I will look at everybody's pages this week in the membership, and I will post what you're doing well. Or maybe I'll cover it in the accountability call, but sometime this week, I will let all of you know my thoughts on your social media, what is given, what you need to get rid of. You gave the same reaction to classy, sexy, cool as I did. See, and Nicole, we might be, I don't want to, we're settled. We're settled. So when we look at things, we look at them from a place of like knowing husbands. And for the women that desire marriage and you want a husband, you need to be giving wife. It doesn't mean you can't be fun. It doesn't mean you can't have flair. It doesn't mean that. But like wife means you're not attainable by everybody. Wife means there's things for a man to discover. Wife means you are a prize, a trophy that he is happy to win and show off. I'm gonna look at everything on a man page. I'm scrolling back. Yeah, because we're women. We dig deeper, right? But usually we're not digging deeper with the right lens and context. We're digging deeper so we can try to find things to justify what we want or what we think, instead of looking at what's there and accepting that it's painting a clear picture and just accepting that. I don't know what that bullseye was for, but thank you, Alice. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. Y'all got a lot of comments here. See? And my husband asked, that was kind of the same question I was going to ask Marlene, like, is that a message you're okay with? Yep, my kids getting beatings because they should be asleep. Yep, men are visual, indeed. That's kind of why I caution with the sexy thing. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience, because I used to get described as sexy all the time when I was a rapper, when I was single. And I noticed the men that were really interested in me, like for something more, like commitment, they never described me as sexy. Never. It was always men that were objectifying me or like were really driven to want something physical from me. So I understand how us women see sexy. Like we think sexy is like super confidence and like uber feminine on that level. Men see it as sexual, like, so that's my 2 cents on that. Don't be nervous, Alice. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time, because I want you all to rate each other too. Like I want you all to look at each other's pages and rate them. My best friend told me one day her man from overseas wanted me to delete a vacay video of her because she had cleavage out. Listen, men are territorial. And if they are serious about you, they don't want. Listen, I hope my husband doesn't get mad, but I only share things because I want you all to know that I only teach what I live, right? And when I'm telling you guys things, it's usually because I've made the mistake. I can clearly tell you when something is not going to land you where you want it to land. But even I don't think we were married yet, but I did a get ready with me video, right? And in it, I had a nightgown on, right? It wasn't like you couldn't see nipples, you couldn't see anything like that. And as a matter of fact, I put the text box over my cleavage because I was being mindful of that. It literally wasn't like a sexy attempt. It wasn't about that. It was just a genuine, quick, I did it, get ready with me. It was in the morning. I was still in my little, I don't want to say lingerie because that gives it even, it was a nightgown on the sexier side. Just you could see like a little lace and it was string. But you couldn't see my cleavage because I had the text in front of it. But he was not with it. He was not with it. He's like, you could have put your robe on, like it still would have showed that you was, getting ready. Like, why did you need to be in that? And I'm looking at it like it's just a regular get ready with me. It's just, what are you? I covered my cleave, right? But this man is like, you about to be my wife. I don't want men looking at you, and I'm not saying that they won't see you're beautiful and they might not fantasize on their own, but I don't want you to help them. Like, I don't want you to help them by being scantily clad and not being covered. Like, yeah, if we're on a beach and you got a bathing suit on, cool, it makes sense. But people don't need to see you in your bed clothes. And at the time, I was just like, that's extreme. I had to sit with it. And I had to mature into that understanding of, I'm this man's wife. He does not want people having access to me like he does. He does not want men seeing me and me helping their fantasies. So it makes a lot of sense. So I said all of that to say, men are territorial, right? And if you want a husband, he wants to know that things are reserved for him. He wants to know that every man is not enjoying you the same way he does, right? Now, I'm not saying possessiveness and control is okay, but I'm saying we do need to understand the delicate balance, right? Men are protective by nature. They know other men's nature. So they are definitely trying to prevent having to, have some conversations. Okay? So I guess when I say sexy, I mean like fine. Like, dang, she bad. Yeah. So say that. I'm just telling you from my experience, men don't interpret sexy the same way we do. Yep. Wife means you're not attainable by anybody. Who wants that? Who wants that? I need to change it up. I'm not giving wife, at least not wife to the type of husband I want. I'm sorry. I have to clap for that because it's that kind of self-awareness that got me where I am. I know that for a fact. It wasn't someone else telling me. It was me listening to things, right? And then applying it to myself and saying, where do I have room to grow? So being able to say, you know what? I know I'm a wife. I know I am. But maybe my social media, my online, my whatever is not aligning with the wife I want to be and not for the type of husband I want. I say it all the time. The woman I was before, would not have had the husband I have now. I would not have been on his radar. I would not have been able to cover him. I would not have been able to support him properly. I would not have been the right wife for him. I had to mature. I had to change in certain areas. I had to be self-aware. I had to stop giving girlfriend and give wife. But in between classy and cool, yep. Like she has expensive taste, but still likes queso. So you get balance, you get balance. Yep. Don't put sexy on the timeline. We leaving sexy. Let the women who want to be seen like with sex appeal, let them have that. We will listen. I'll come up with a list of other things that we can be. Start with alluring. I'm going to start interviewing men. Yeah, but in a cute way. We're going to talk about flirting next week, so that'll be a part of it. I can't wait until you go through my social media. Baby, clean up my act. I'm trying to be a wife, mom, and boss. I want to give wife, mom, boss. Yep. All right, y'all. Listen, all I need is an invitation. I minds my business until I'm invited. And then when I'm invited, I'ma say it all. So be careful what y'all ask for. You don't want to give this unless you're married, right? Nope. Right, it's understandable. Yep. Is it weird that I think an overabundance of selfies on a woman's page is a no-no? No, it's not weird. It's intelligent, and it's giving wife. Right? A lot of selfies, unless you are selling clothes and you're the model, like, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's very clear that it's not a vanity type thing, or I don't have a life, so I'm trying to portray that I do. I don't think an overabundance of anything is good. Right? You have to have a balance of it. Yep, I don't get out much. I'm just here for a relationship. Yeah, it looks like you trying to sell yourself. You trying to convince. Just enough. Just enough. A good headshot, a full body shot, so it shows you're not ashamed of your body. An action shot doing something that you like, and then a regular everyday. Like, those are the general pictures that you should have, but you should stay within those guidelines. Like, if you're posting a picture of yourself, it should probably be for a purpose. Like, what's the message? Why did you post that? What are you looking to gain from doing that? Yep. Don't help other men visualize you. Look. Listen, I think a mistake that women make is we believe our intention is law. Like, I didn't intend that, so it don't mean that. That does not matter. That does not matter. Like, your intention, although it may be pure, that does not negate how it might be received, right? And men are definitely thinking about how you're viewed, right? Because let's fast forward, right? You meet a great guy, you guys hit it off. He's going to tell his friends. His friends are going to look at your social media. He don't want nothing on there embarrassing you or him. I have so many like thirst traps I don't post because I'm not a fan of showing too much body. I'm a pretty modest girl. So why do you have the thirst trap pictures, period? Are they for you? So I would think about that. I'm glad you're not posting them. But you could probably think a little bit more about that. Think about why you're taking certain pictures too. Yeah, that's a good point of view. It's not weird, but she is telling her focus. Oh, see, my husband always comes through with the good one-liners, right? And he is, I don't want to say he's a typical man. He's not typical. But he understands men. And when he comments in these forums, he is giving us ladies like the general male perspective so that it helps us. So no, it's not weird, but she is telling her focus. I told you, men are simple. They're not digging and trying to make a story to suit what they want. They're accepting what is. So when they see a woman who's posting a lot of a particular thing, they're like, well, that's her focus, right? Her man didn't even live on the same continent though, and it was from 3 years ago, so I was thrown off. I mean, that might be a little ridiculous, but that's whatever is happening in their relationship. I'm just sharing in general what I learned about men who are marriage minded, men who take care of their women, provide for them, and their woman is the ultimate uh sign of their wealth, sign of their abundance, sign of how well they're doing in life. They care about all that. They care about all that. Yep. Correct man apply. There for my future husband. He's gonna want ones that you take when y'all are together though. Like, did I ever? No, I never sent Will an old picture. I took all new ones for him. So I mean, okay, practicing. Okay. I think it's good for like self-esteem, like to show you how good you look. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Yep. Intent does not change impact. You may intend to be alluring, but it's given advertisement. Absolutely. And men don't care what your intention is. I'm about to delete a lot of pics this week. Why not? Because who knows, like, what energy are those things giving off, right? What is it attracting? Even though like you're past it and it might be in the back or whatever, if you're changing and you want people to see you a different way, you want to attract a different thing, why not? Yes, thank you, honey. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, sometimes me being friendly is often taken as flirtation. I'm just friendly. Okay. I'm gonna refer you back to what I said. Like, your intention may not be how it's received. So you can be generally friendly, right? But I'm gonna ask you, like, are you gonna want your man genuinely friendly? You're gonna want him respectful. You're gonna want it to be a clear difference between when he's flirting and when he's not. And right. So consider some of those things. Consider what needs to be adjusted if you are talking about you want to be a wife. Like, my husband likes that I'm giving. He likes that I'm pleasant. He likes that I make connections, but he loves the fact that I don't give off available, that there isn't a gray area between my friendly and flirting. He likes that I know how to distinguish that and make it very clear. He loves that, actually. Yep, thirst traps will only attract the thirsty, not a man of intention that knows what he wants. Yep. Wait for the audit. Oh, don't play with me. Y'all about to get all this audit. Yep, look, I need the space in my phone anyway. Okay. You know what? I have to end it too. My mom, listen, the kids is totally acting up, right? Thank you so much. I'm glad you got to catch this live. I love when you're here. You always contribute great comments, especially given definite wife. Okay. Adjust my friendliness. I'm gonna have to come back to this because I'm not sure if I do. That's a good place to start. A good place to start is my intention is friendly. If it's being received as flirtation, is there anything that I could adjust to be more clear that I'm just genuinely nice and pleasant, right? I changed mine from I don't say I'm friendly. I'm pleasant. I'm pleasant and I'm positive. So yeah, that's a good place to start. All right, so let me round this up. Okay. My coaching gem. Build connections with those who are genuinely interested in you because the bond is stronger. There's more reassurance. You know you are his choice. So stop pursuing and forcing connections. Okay, we're not pursuing, We're not forcing connections. We are learning to want who wants us. If you're late joining the live, go ahead and look back, start from the beginning. The lesson's always in the beginning, and then the ending is open season Q&A where we just talk. Please remember to share the love, right? Tell others about the channel and the community. Encourage them to subscribe. And I am here every Monday with a new coaching gem, which is a topic-based lesson, and then we have an interactive discussion. Please, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not in my regular elements. The kids are still up. They're giving my mom a hard time, so you can hear that in the background. So yes, I will see you next Monday where we are talking about how to flirt. And that came from Brianna. So we are going to talk about how to flirt next week. All right. I love you all. Please remember that God is love. We are of God, so attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. All right. See you next week.